What's the best way to break down silos and be able to move forward in a new direction? That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Women Leaders on the Move, a HerCsuite radio podcast. I'm your host, Natalie Benamou, and every week I learn right along with you, discovering ideas and learning about topics that I bring to you, whether it's like today or learning from guests. I'm also the founder of HerCsuite. We're a portfolio career network helping women in the second half of our careers. I would love for you to visit us and find out how women just like you are living the portfolio career and life of their dreams. Today, we are going to dive in deep to talk about how we together can make a huge impact and live our dreams in synergy and collaboration. Let's get started with this topic now. Have you ever heard of the famous expression from Marshall Goldsmith, "What got us here won't take us there"? Well, my friend, we're living in that moment. Only I feel like what got us here could keep us stuck if we don't change the way we're doing things. You may have experienced this sometime in the last year or 6 months, this feeling of silo, that you're isolated. It could be whether you're leading a company, serving on a board, you're an entrepreneur, a speaker, wherever you are in your career. I guarantee you that at some point in the last 6 months, you most likely felt siloed. We've been trained on this idea of competitiveness, of being alone and kind of competing with someone else rather than coming together. And as much as people talk about words like empowering and power, they don't really hold a lot of muster when, in fact, the world is very siloed now more than ever. And so, what brought us here today not only won't take us forward, but we're stuck in this moment if we don't change the way we're approaching things. And recently, this year, I've been really reflecting on why is it that we are siloed? Why are we not able to move forward? And I had a breakthrough moment when I went to a founder circle with Coco Selman and A Force for Good. She has an amazing group of women. And I flew to New York and I sat down and this aha moment came to me. And I realized that collaboration is the thing that's missing. And it sounds so straightforward. When I use the word collaboration, you're probably thinking of at least one or two people that you've done something with recently and you hadn't even thought about it. Why? Because women naturally collaborate together. We don't have to think about it. We call our friends and ask their advice. We seek to be around other women that are like-minded and maybe not like-minded to feel lifted up. And this idea of collaboration is in our DNA, and it's also a superpower. And I recently had the chance to put this idea in motion. And I'm going to tell you the name of it because it's going to become a framework I'm going to reference throughout this conversation with you today. It's called Collab 3. And the idea is bringing together 3 women to create something new in 90 days. And I got the opportunity to do this with 2 other incredible entrepreneurs. And at the time, I didn't even realize that we were the first of hopefully many, many, many ideas that are going to be incubating and starting through Collab 3. And it started with a referral and then another referral. And then I met Meghann Conter. Meghann Conter is the founder of The Dames, and it is an incredible entrepreneur, women's leadership accelerator and incubator for women that are in the very successful range of where they are in their business and looking to go further with their business as entrepreneurs. And she's been in business for over 10 years and leading this organization. And when I met with her, we were talking about doing a webinar or a workshop together. And the topic of how to stay visible came up. And I immediately thought of an alliance partner of mine, Bobbie Carlton, who is helping businesses not disappear through web traffic and changing web traffic. And all of this is to say, if you're feeling confused, don't worry, I'm going to get there. The three of us came together and came up with a webinar, and we launched it in less than 90 days. We did it, I think it was in 60 days, actually. And it was just the right pace, working together, collaborating. All of us had businesses that we were running, but we came together to do a workshop and leveraged heavily my friend Bobbie Carlton because she really is the expert in creating canonical lists that are driving AI traffic to websites so that you don't disappear in the business world. Chat and Gemini and all of the LLMs are now what drive traffic, most of the traffic to websites. People aren't even searching on the internet anymore. And so we had a whole workshop on this. All this to say that I really got to experience this idea of Collab 3 myself and got so excited. And I'm excited to share it with you because I want you to think about your gifts and how you could leverage them and connect with someone, two other women, to create something new. I know that you have exactly in your mind, probably two women that you've talked to, that you've thought of. And that's really the starting point. It starts with leveraging your strengths. We so often have been conditioned to think about strength finders and then we move away and we go to the thing that we're not good at. Operations is not my superpower. Accounting is not my superpower. And so often you get pushed into having to do certain things. And as a business owner, sure, you have to do things because you own a business. But oftentimes in the corporate world, we're trained to really focus and make up for the things that we can't do well instead of leveraging our strengths and collaborating with other people that fill in those gaps. That's where the magic happens. That's where Collab 3 happens. And that's what happened in my example. If you're in a company and you're thinking about, okay, well, I'm not an entrepreneur. How would this even help me? Or I am an entrepreneur and I'm trying to create a new product. Let me tell you that if you were to work with two other women that complement you in executing, if it's a new product, a new idea, a new business, if you're trying to land a board role, if you're looking to do some goal and you're not getting there, surrounding yourself with two women that complement you is the key. And what happens in this process is knowledge share. That's a magical moment where you realize that the other two with you create this magical synergy and you're not competing, you're not siloed, you're now in concert together and able to leverage each other's genius to create something amazing. Every entrepreneur that I have talked to about this got so excited because they have had something that was keeping them from generating revenue, generating profit, coming up with that idea because they weren't able to fill that gap. And we're trained to be siloed. We're trained to think we have to do it alone, that if we show that we're not able to do it alone, even if we have a team, but we're still leading alone, that that's the way we're supposed to do it. And I'm here to tell you that knowledge sharing is such a powerful way for you to collaborate and see the future and change and not be stuck in this moment. What happens once you realize that you're sharing your knowledge, and in the example that I gave with Bobbie and with Meghann, I quickly realized that Bobbie really was the superstar in the three of us with knowing that material. She knew it, she was our expert. And Meghann really was the expert and is the expert in doing successful webinars and workshops. And I came in with the ability to know certain pieces of the AI component and also LinkedIn to help round it out. And I learned so much and I respect these two leaders so much. It was really a gift that I learned from them. I got to be in the room with them. I saw how they're doing it. And you know what? It's not a mentorship, it's a peer collaboration where you are learning right alongside each other. There's no competition. You're leveraging your knowledge. And what happens in that instant is a multiplier effect. I have this lofty goal that in 10 years, 10,000 women will come together in a collaboration together and create something new. Imagine creating not just an ecosystem that's doing this, but a whole new economy, a way that we are buying from each other, referring business, and it is a limitless loop of how we can grow together. I am certain that this idea is where we are destined to go. It's the year of the fire horse. And I believe in this idea so much. And I just was mentioning it to my good friend, Michelle Peacock, that I feel like I have this magnet. And every time I try to deviate away from it, I keep getting pulled back to center. And if there's one thing I know is that when we collaborate together, there's no limit to how we can leverage this as a superpower. We are destined to create something bigger than we've ever imagined, but we can't go it alone. We can't be siloed. And so, bringing women organizations together, bringing together individuals and groups, and finding ways to connect and engage and create something new is magical. And the key and the framework in HerCsuite that we're building out is a 90-day fast track, because there's nothing worse than having an idea and it languishes and you don't have a start date, milestones, and an end date. From my life in trade shows, it was all about dates and milestones, and no matter what, the show would start and the show would end. And I really learned to love that ramp up and kind of coasting, if you will, in the moment. It wasn't really so much coasting on the show floor, but I like I like the analogy. That's why we are looking at doing a 90-day turn. And this is going to be inside her C suite, but you can do it yourself if you are thinking about how you can turn something from being siloed into no longer being stuck. I want to encourage you to think of two women that you know that complement what you're trying to do, and how can you leverage each other's strengths to create something new. I know and believe in you. I know that this is possible. I feel drawn to it. It's a magnet I can't escape. I'll be coming and talking to you more and more about this because I really believe this is the future for us of collaborating, dreaming bigger, and finding ways to create an ecosystem and an economy that is interdependent on each other. And we can create amazing impact. I am so grateful for you to be with me today, to listen in. I appreciate everyone around the world that listens every week. It means so much. And if this episode inspired you and you have a friend who you think would benefit, will you share it with her? I would be so grateful. And also, if you take 60 seconds or less and rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, it really does help others find us. Most important, I want you to know you have superpowers. Collaboration might be just a piece of it, but you matter, and that's what counts. Keep shining your light bright. The world needs you.